3-year-old Madeleine McCann lay asleep in a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal. Her parents were dining just steps away, checking on her and her twin siblings regularly. Then, silence. On the night of May 3rd, 2007, Maddie vanished without a sound. Whatever followed has haunted the world for years. Questions, rumors, heartbreak. And to this day, no confirmed answer. Tonight, we pull back the curtain and follow every lead, every whisper, every unturned stone to ask, what really happened to Madeleine McCann? Madeleine Beth McCann was born May 12, 2003. She was the eldest of three. Her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, devout churchgoers from Leicestershire, England, had chosen to take their young family on holiday in the Algarve region of Portugal. The resort was Praia da Luz, a popular destination of sun, safety, and family vacations. In the early days of May 2007, the McCanns settled into apartment 5A at the Ocean Club Resort. Kate and Jerry's plan was simple: a relaxing vacation, plenty of sunshine, calm evenings. On the evening of May 3rd, they dined with a group of friends at a tapas restaurant within the resort, arranging a rota so that every half hour, someone would check on the children. Something like a safety net, they thought. At about 9:05 p.m., Jerry checked on Madeleine and the twins, Sean and Amelie. He saw Maddie sleeping in bed. Kate washed up, and the evening passed normally, or as normally as evenings with toddlers can. No alarm, no sign of distress. Then, when Kate went to check again at approximately 10 p.m., she discovered Madeleine gone. The window was ajar, the door locked behind them. The nightmare had begun. When Madeleine's absence was discovered, panicked alarms were sounded. The restaurant waiter was alerted. Staff walked over. Guests joined. Portuguese police were called. The resort was searched top to bottom. Apartments, beaches, nearby roads, dumpsters, volunteers, vacationers, law enforcement. Everyone joined in the search that stretched into dawn. The initial official statement was that Madeleine had been abducted. A description was issued: blonde hair, blue-green eyes, wearing pink pajamas. The Portuguese police, the Polícia Judiciária, and later, British law enforcement and Scotland Yard joined in. The McCanns appeared on television, tearful, frightened, making pleas for leads. If you have her, bring her back. If you saw anything, tell us. But even while the world searched, cracks began to appear. Witness accounts were inconsistent. Timelines offered by the McCanns and the Tapas 7, their dinner companions, had minor variations. A young British woman, Jane Tanner, reported seeing a man carrying a child walking away from the resort, but she described the time differently than others. Neighbors gave differing statements. Some said they saw children in bedrooms. Others said no sign of disturbance. Video footage from CCTV in the resort showed nothing clearly. Police dogs were used. Sniffer dogs alerted in certain areas, including the apartment and near a hire car used by the McCanns. Portuguese forensic tests on the car yielded hair samples and DNA traces, but many were inconclusive or contested. The case file in Portugal grew large, thousands of pages, hundreds of sighting reports, but none that conclusively located Madeleine. Over time, multiple theories emerged. Some centered on abduction by a stranger. Others pointed to accidental death inside the apartment. Some suggested cover-ups, either by the family or by authorities. Let's walk through the principal theories. This was the original hypothesis, that someone slipped into the apartment, kidnapped Madeleine, passed quietly through windows or doors, and escaped without trace. witness reports of a man seen carrying a child, descriptions of suspicious individuals around the resort, and the fact that the window was ajar supported this theory. Rescue dogs had earlier indicated scent trails in some reports. Later, in 2020, investigations renewed focus on a suspect. Christian Bruckner, a German national who had convictions for other crimes and was located near the area around the time Madeleine disappeared. Investigators allege mobile phone data placed him near Praia da Luz. But as of now, there is no definitive proof he abducted Madeleine. He remains a prime suspect in the eyes of many, but criminal charges have not been established. Some investigators and public commentators have entertained the possibility that Madeleine died accidentally in the apartment. Perhaps during playful exploration, a fall, or other mishap. The proponents of this theory argue that the night's checks might have missed something. That forensic evidence, hair, DNA found in the apartment or in the hire car, could suggest Madeleine was inside and then moved. Arguments against this theory include that there's no body, no confession or credible witness of an accident, and that the window being open could have allowed access to abduction. The lack of trauma evidence complicates claims of violent accident. Because Madeleine was last seen asleep in a locked apartment, some theories assert someone familiar with the layout might have entered, or that a staff member or guest took advantage of unlocked doors or windows. The Tapa 7 group, comprised of friends dining nearby, have been scrutinized in public speculation and legal releases, though no credible evidence has formally tied them to Madeleine's disappearance. The suspect Bruckner's alleged presence in the area years later revived interest in people who were around, but again, nothing has been proven beyond doubt. Another disturbing possibility is that Madeleine was abducted into trafficking networks, either local or transnational. Some sightings in other countries were reported, though unverified. Some ransom demands rumored, though never credible. And the locational mobility of suspects like Bruckner added fuel to speculation. But there has been no solid evidence, no credible verified contact, no ransom note, no concrete transfer of the case into trafficking jurisdiction. Over the years, investigators in Portugal, the UK, and Germany have made numerous efforts. Operation Grange, launched by the Met Police in 2011, gathered leads from the public, re-examined forensic evidence, scrutinized alibis, and tested new technology. German prosecutors in 2020 and beyond designated Bruckner as an arguido, formal suspect, and authorized joint investigations. Searches were conducted at locations suggested by phone data or witness reports, including arcs near reservoirs, scrubland, and buildings. Mistakes were also made, some admitted by officials, others inferred by critics. The initial Portuguese police response has been criticized for failing to secure the crime scene properly, allowing potential evidence or witnesses to be compromised. Some statements by the McCanns and their friends had inconsistencies in timings. The hire car used by the McCanns was not sealed in a way some forensic experts say would preserve all evidence. Reports of iris scans, cadaver dog alerts, etc., have been questioned for their reliability or for delays in acting on them. Some leads dried up because of lack of cooperation across national lines, mixed jurisdictional authority, and legal challenges. The passage of time has meant memories fade, records degrade, possible physical evidence is lost or contaminated. Yet, in the face of these failures, the McCanns insisted on continuing, hiring private investigators and supporting public appeals globally. In recent years, renewed energy has entered the Madeleine McCann case. Christian Bruckner, identified by German prosecutors in 2020 as a prime suspect, has remained under intense scrutiny. Investigations have focused on his presence in the region around the Algarve at the time of Madeleine's disappearance. Phone data, witness statements, the physical environment, and possible locations of disposal have been re-examined. In 2023, British, Portuguese, and German police launched searches in remote areas near dams and scrublands, following leads related to Bruckner. One such search was near the Arad Reservoir, which drew media attention and public concern. At the same time, the McCanns publicly reiterated that they believe Madeleine may still be alive, or at least that they will not stop searching for truth. The case remains open in several jurisdictions. In Germany, it is treated as a murder inquiry, though Portuguese authorities still have legal constraints. Investigative cooperation across countries has improved, technology has advanced, DNA tools have become more sensitive, public reward funds continue, and new witnesses or re-examinations of old ones are periodically surfacing. So with all this attention, why has Madeleine McCann's disappearance never been resolved conclusively? Several underlying realities have prolonged the mystery. Decaying memories, potential decay or destruction of physical evidence, loss of initial witness statements or security footage, multiple police forces, Portuguese, UK, German, different legal standards, cross-border cooperation issues, no definitive forensic evidence, no recovered body, no confirmed witness placing anyone outside speculation. Even the material physically collected, like DNA from the car or hair in the apartment, has been contested or unverified. Public expectation, sensationalism, misinformation, and the tendency of the story to be reframed by rumor. This sometimes hinders real investigation or leads to misleading hypotheses being disseminated. For Kate and Jerry McCann and Madeleine's siblings, every new lead or returned negative result reopens grief. Their desire for answers is complicated by public scrutiny, legal pressures, and personal heartbreak. Despite the many theories, there are facts that hold firm. Madeleine McCann was last seen on May 3, 2007, in apartment 5A at the Ocean Club, Praia da Luz, sleeping, with the door locked and window ajar. Kate and Jerry McCann were designated arguidos, formal suspects, briefly by Portuguese authorities, but later cleared of formal suspicion. Christian Bruckner is currently the main suspect in the case under German prosecutor oversight, although he has not been charged with Madeleine's disappearance and maintains his denial. The case remains open. New searches are being launched as recently as 2023, especially areas specified by leads related to Bruckner's phone data, physical sites like reservoirs/dams, and potential disposal sites. Madeleine McCann is more than a name. She is a symbol of what happens when a normal night turns into lifelong uncertainty. Her story changed laws, changed policing methods, and transformed public awareness, but it did not bring her back. If you believe this story deserves to be more than headlines and documentaries, then be part of the search for truth. Share this case with someone unfamiliar. Support cross-border investigations. Encourage accountability for evidence that's lingering in limbo. Write to organizations working on missing children. Because even when official files are cold, public attention and determination can revive hope. Madeleine has been missing for years, but she should never be forgotten. And until the night someone knows something, says something, brings the last piece forward, her case remains unfinished.